Welcome back to the Javier Mendez podcast, Mr. Sunglasses and Mr. Javier over there. So I just found out that you practice at different hours now. You've changed the routine. How's everything looking for the camp of Usman? I've seen he's getting work in with Umar based on that nice little video.
Yeah, he got in some work with Umar last Friday. It went really great. They do really great together. They're so fun, so much fun to watch because they're so talented. And they're very, they're brothers. They're working. I mean, they're trying to hit each other, but they're not. Their intent is not to hurt each other. Their intent is to work good technique and give each other good work and good different looks, etc., etc. They do a fantastic job. Today, sparring went really well with Usman. He went 3 rounds with Adam Piccolotti. It was a good little 3 rounds with him. Then he went 2 rounds with Daniel Allen, one of my up-and-coming guys. Did good rounds there. Abu Bakr had 3 rounds with Tony Johnson, who's getting ready. Abu Bakr is getting ready to fight the next day, March 11th in Las Vegas. And Tony Johnson is fighting March 10th here in Bellator. But yeah, it was good. Enrique Barzola looked really good. It was good sparring. Good sparring.
So you love it when it's in the backyard. We talked about this last time, having the fight, just a quick drive from the gym. Everything's there. Go home after you're done. No airplanes. I mean, is that a luxury being a fighting coach? Just having that like in San Jose at the SAP Center, the big Bellator event?
For me, it is because, like this last trip from Australia, man, I'm still dealing with jet lag. Oh my gosh, it was horrible. I mean, I'm waking up, I'm taking sleeping pills, right? And they get me to bed. But then like last night, I woke up at 2 a.m. just brand new, energized. And I'm like, oh man, my eyes are torn. So I had some Jacob's CBD gummy bears to put my sleep. I overdosed on them and it put me back to bed. But man, I was having a tough time. This is almost 2 weeks of jet lag, man. And this last trip was horrible, man. I feel for people when they talk about jet lag. This is jet lag. This is not just 3 or 4 days. This is like 2 full weeks of not getting into a regular pattern, so being at home, for the fights, it's a great feeling. Yeah, going to these nice new places is cool and all, but you really can't enjoy the view and all the fun that every city has to offer in every country, because your main job is to focus on your fighter, not for you having fun. So you have to be back at a certain time. You got to train at a certain time. You can't stay up late. You can't do any of the things that normally when you're on vacation you can do. You can't. You have a program. You have to stay on your program. You can have some fun, but it's not. Normally you're in your room most of the time.
Well, I mean, you're there under stress. It's like, imagine if you had to go do all your college homework, but you're in beautiful Hawaii, but they want you to do trigonometry and algebra, and you're like, stressing out. And like, if you don't do it, something bad's going to happen, right? You can't enjoy the beautiful surroundings.
Yeah, but that part, believe it or not, that part I've gotten really used to. So that's easy now. Like the stress of a fight, and the night before, I used to get no sleep because I was worried about what to look for from the other opponent. Now it's like easy. That's easy now. I don't even dream about my opponent and what could happen bad to us. No, I know what to do now. I know how to do it. I know what to do. I stay relaxed in the fight. I have zero nerves now. Zero. Concerns, obviously, yes, but it doesn't cause me to get nervous anymore. I used to get so nervous that I couldn't sleep. Not anymore. I've been to so many fights that I learned how to relax, stay relaxed and calm, and it really makes a big difference when you can do that versus going crazy, yelling at the guys, and et cetera, et cetera. But if you learn to relax, there is a time that you're going to probably need to yell at a fighter to motivate him. But for the most part, you just have to tell him direct, concise advice on what he needs to do to keep winning, or to change the losing to the winning. Either way, you got to stay relaxed while you're delivering the message, and it comes across cleaner and much easier for the fighter to understand. Sometimes you do have to yell, but not. Normally, I find that I don't yell as much. I don't have to anymore.
Do you think like if the coach is conveying stress and self-doubt and is like, hit him, hit him.
Oh, well,
The
yeah.
fighter's probably going, uh-oh.
Well,
Things are going downhill.
when you're talking like that, that's uncertainty on the coach's part. When let's just talk, for instance, Leon Edwards' coach, when he motivated him to go after Kamaru, that was the kind of motivation that was needed, And if you can't reach your fighter, then that's when you do come out with those type of discussions and talks with your fighter to pump them up, to let them realize that you have one more opportunity. Don't let it slip by. You got to go after it, because if you don't stop this guy, you're going to lose this fight. And more or less, his corner really pushed him to that victory. So that was a case where you can go, wow, okay, that a good experienced corner is crucial.
So you've got 3 guys on that card that's coming up in Bellator next month.
Let's see, 3. No, there's more. There's
there's
Islam Mavadov was on the card. He's out. He got injured his elbow, so he's not fighting. But we have Usman, who's defending the title against Benson Henderson. I got Enrique Barzola. He's fighting. I got Theo Haig, one of my up and coming, stars that actually will be a star at some point, and Vlad, and then I got Tony Johnson. So we have five AKA guys. 4. Vlad is Half Gracie, but he trains with us. So four guys.
How does that feel, like having that many guys? Is that distracting, or is there any precedence that you operate like I'm staying with the top of the card guy? How does that work as a coach when you have that many in your arena?
For me, I stay with the guys I personally train. So I don't train Vlad, so I won't be in his corner. I don't train Theo, so I won't be in his corner. And I don't train Tony, so I won't be in his corner. I only work with Enrique and Usman, so I only work 2 people. So I'm not all over the place, because they all have their coaches that they work with. I may be the owner and the head coach, but I'm not the one responsible for everybody. And I'm responsible in the end, because we decide what we're going to do, but I'm not responsible for being in the corner, is what I'm saying.
So how has Usman looked? Like, not the typical reporter questions. Are you good on the ground? How's your stand-up? How's your, but how is he looking overall from one camp to the next? From the last camp to this camp, what type of evolution have you seen in the young man?
Better everywhere. Better striking, better IQ, better ground, better mental. I mean, he's just better everywhere. He became a champion. And now, you don't really become a true champion to defend your title. And now he's going to have to go out there and prove that he's a true champion by defending his title, because now the pressure begins, because now you have to keep it. Everybody knows what you look like. Everybody knows, what they're going after. So you have to up your game. If you don't up your game, they're going to catch you, because that's what happens, and the real work begins once you win the title. Winning the title is hard enough as it is. Keeping it is harder.
It is, and this is the Grand Prix thing, and he's fighting a guy, Benson Henderson, that gave Islam Mamedov a hard fight that kind of didn't go his way, right? Am I correct?
Correct. Benson Henderson is the luckiest guy in close fight decisions. I thought so many people I've seen him fight, and he gets the decisions where I thought he lost. But that's my opinion. But again, I thought he lost, but he wins. Josh Thompson, I thought Josh Thompson beat him. He wins. Islam Mavadov, I thought he barely lost to Islam, but he wins. A few other people, I can't remember their names offhand, that he's been in close decisions, but he wins. So this is a guy that knows how to win close decisions, and he also knows how to be a champion, because he's been a champion. So this is a formidable opponent. This is not it's an easy first round. No. This is a former champion. This is a guy who's been with anybody, the who's who, and beat him. He's beat the who's who. So, no, this guy's no joke. You underestimate him, guess what? You lose your title and you lose your tournament spot, So, no, we're not underestimating him at all. He's as tough as they come. He's a veteran, and he's a former champion, and he's a world-class fighter.
Yeah, it's true. It is different, though. You get, extreme different skill sets in Usman and Islam. When I watch the 2 train and I watch them perform, different types of beasts.
They're different. Islam's a little slower, more methodical. Usman is he's more power, speed, and agility. He's a little quicker everywhere, and so it's a different fight, different set of skills. Same camp, but different set of skills.
I think he's better. He's better matched for who he's fighting. I think he's definitely. If you were to pick between the two, I would go with Usman to have a better chance against Benson Henderson. That's for sure. I mean, just looking at his athleticism and all that, because Benson's pretty athletic, but Usman is too, and Usman's fresher, newer, and he's the champ.
The champ for a reason, because he's the best. He's the champ for a reason. He's the one to beat. So he's the one to beat. So it isn't about what Usman has for Benson. It's not what Benson have to take away what Usman has. I don't think he has enough. I don't think he has enough to beat him. I don't think anybody does in the Bellator division. I don't think anybody has enough to take it from him. I don't think anybody takes it from him. I think he beats everybody, because I believe he's that good. I've said it, 2.5, 3 years ago, how good this kid was. And I said he was going to be the champ. And sure enough, here he is. He's the champ. First time
very quickly too.
I trained him the first time almost 3 years ago. So yeah, not too fairly quick rise. He went up. Yeah.
Is he the youngest champion that you've had? That you've worked with?
Yes, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, he is the youngest. Yeah, 24.
So.
Yeah, he's the youngest.
Wow, and nothing but up from here.
No, nothing but up. Well, let's see how far he wants to go. The sky's the limit. He is so talented. Whatever he wants. He wants to continue, he'll continue. He wants to stop, he can stop. It's up to him. But the sky's the limit for him. He learns really quick. He's his fight IQ is very, very, very high, and he spars great. He fights better.
I was watching him with Kane. That was impressive. I was seeing him react to Kane, and Kane looked pretty impressive himself, training him up.
Kane got him tired. He was so sore the next day. Having a dealing with Kane, it was tough for him. He goes, "Coach, I'm so sore." Well, you're dealing with Kane. Kane knows how to work with the guys, though. He doesn't. He makes them work. He knows how to work. But
when you're grappling and a guy's putting that extra weight on you,
Kane's still. Yeah, he's a load to deal with, anyways. I mean, come on, he's one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. And a great athlete, and he happens to outweigh Usman by a good 80 pounds too. So that's a big difference.
I've seen him manhandle Tai Tuivasa, so I'm sure that Islam's best move is stick and escape. I was watching that. But when you get those big paws of Kane around your neck, or holding you, in a clinch, or pushing you down towards the mat, you're trying to resist. It's kind of like if you go to the gym and it's a heavy day, like you're at a powerlifting gym, instead of your regular bench press, you're trying to go for 200 pounds more than normal.
Well, the problem with Kane is he's a chain wrestler. He'll grab your neck, and you get rid of your neck, and all of a sudden he's on your legs. You get rid of the legs, and all of a sudden he's back on your neck, and then it's like you're constantly fighting because he's chain wrestling you. He's not staying at one spot and trying to grab that spot. He goes one to another, to another, to another, and you're like, man, it's like you can't get him off of you. It's very difficult. You have to be super high level to be able to deal with the kind of wrestling that he brings. He's always been that way.
He's checking all the doors. He's like, okay, not this one, next one, next one, next one, next one. You're like, whoa. You don't know where to guard now. That's another interesting approach. I never thought about that. But also he's got that crazy ass cardio for a big man. So the little man, he's not just some big guy with the big old porky belly just huffing across trying to chase little Usman.
No. He's very difficult to deal with. Very difficult to deal with.
So
that's what we have.
That's pretty awesome. So let me ask you this: as far as Jon Jones fighting Cyril Gane, what do you think about that fight?
Well, what I think Jon Jones is basically going to have his way with him, like I'm thinking, because Jon Jones has been an individual that cares about winning, will do whatever he can to win, meaning that he'll train properly, like he's done with this one here. It took him how many years? When's the last time he fought?
3 years ago.
Okay, so he's been training. He's just been putting on the weight, getting accustomed to being a super heavyweight, not a super heavyweight, just a heavyweight. So he packed on 20 pounds of probably pure muscle in those amount of time, and he was a hell of a wrestler then. And for what I was told, he was handling the heavyweights back then at light heavyweight. Because he was probably walk around 225, 230. Okay, and handling heavyweights then and sparring. So now he's probably what 245, 255. So now you got a bigger guy that's got an IQ like probably the highest IQ, fight IQ of just about any heavyweight ever. The guy knows how to fight. He knows how to dissect you. He knows how to work on strategies. He implements strategies. He's always in great shape. His will to win is like second to none. He's like as good as they come for winning. He refuses to give up. And that's why he is one of the greatest, And granted, for me, I can't ever put him as the greatest only because when you've been caught, and he's been caught. But his ability and his accomplishments, if you just base it on accomplishments, he is definitely one of the greatest, if not the greatest, on accomplishments, but I'm talking about the overall everything. He's a
You're
great
just talking
fighter.
about the honor system of
Honor system. Yeah.
getting caught by USADA or whatever.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
here's the truth. We could all take a whole bunch of different supplements from the illegal part of the cabinet, and it's not going to make us world champion. I'm sorry. It doesn't.
No, it's
doesn't
not.
work. All the bodybuilders would go in there and mop the floor with all the MMA fighters. But that's
They're not gonna make that didn't make him a world champion. What made him a world champion is his God-given ability, and his work ethic. That other did not make him a world champion. You're not going to be a world champion because you're on the stuff. But the fact that he got caught just kind of, to me, makes him ineligible to be put on the greatest because of that one reason. That's the only reason. Otherwise than that, you can't deny how great he is and how many title defenses he's had. You can't deny it. You can't deny the greatness, and it's there.
Do you think, what do you think, Cyril Gane or had he fought Ngannou, which one of them poses more of a threat for Jon Jones, stylistically speaking?
I think in Ngannou because of the superpower. He's got that speed and the one punch crunch, and that's a very big danger, And you saw with Ngannou, he couldn't handle Cyril Gane's stand up as well because Cyril Gane is like a really good kickboxer. He knows how to use his knees, his kicks, his distance extremely well. So what did Ngannou do? Take him down, and that's where he won the fight because he took him down. Well, Ngannou took him down. What do you think Jon Jones is going to do? Jon Jones is one of the he's a champion wrestler, and the JUCO, I think Division 1 or 2, right? A 3 or 2, right? I think so, right? He was a champ. So and that's probably because of his grades. Had Jon Jones been Division 1, I guarantee you he would have been Division 1 champion. So we're dealing with a guy that can wrestle, and he knows how to wrestle and knows how to use it properly. So I personally don't think Jon Jones is going to try to go out there and show people what a great stand-up guy he is, because we already know he's a great stand-up guy, but he's going to go and show people what a smart fighter he is. And he's going to go out there and play the game. And before you know it, Gane's going to be on the ground and he's going to smash him. I just don't see Gane's ground improving between this fight and the Ngannou fight to be able to deal with the Jon Jones on the ground. I just don't. I don't see it. I mean,
because Ngannou did answer him by taking him to the ground. And who's better at taking him to the ground? Jon Jones is better at taking him to the ground than Ngannou.
By far.
There you go.
The best at taking you down, period. So guess what? And I know Jones can stand with him if that's what he chooses to do, but why? When he can't deal with your ground, why stand with somebody that can deal with your stand-up? Hey, Gane can deal with his stand-up. He can deal with Jones' stand-up, no problem. He's fine there. So that'll be a fight in the stand-up department. But on the ground, I don't see that as being the equal. On the stand-up, it could go whatever, But on the ground, I favor Jones, not slightly, major advantage. So why would Jones not take a major advantage, and give the crowd a good fight? He didn't train for 3 years to prepare for heavyweight to go out there and take a loss. He trained because he's going to show people how smart he is, and he's going to go out there and do what he needs to do. He's gonna take the guy down. You know, it may appear like he's going to stand, but he's not. He's taking him down.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. There's another guy on the card that's really good or really interesting to watch. What do you think about Shavkat Rakhmonov?
He's a title contender for darn sure. And after this fight, they may very well give him a title shot. He's right in the money, man. 170. That guy, 170, right?
Yep, I believe so. Yeah,
yeah.
He's fighting Geoff Neal.
Yeah, Geoff Neal. Yeah, he's fun to watch. He's a Terminator like guy. You know, he's stoic. He comes in. He knows what he's gonna do, and he does it. He doesn't deviate from what he needs to do, and he takes care of business. That's a champion in the making right there. So, yeah, he expect him to win. Expect him to potentially get a next title shot. You know, after Leon and Kamaru.
Well, there's also this other guy that's new to the game, Bo Nickel. Have you heard about him?
Yeah, he's all the hype on Division I wrestling, and I usually find when there's big hype and everybody, the camps talk about them like that, I usually find that it's true. It's true. There was a lot of hype on Hamzat Shemaya before he came out. A lot of hype, and it's true. So it came out. He was exactly who they said he was, and same thing about Bo Nichols, as everybody was talking about him before he came out. Hot new prospect, this and that, this and that, this and that. Then you watch him, same. He's the real deal. So expect him to do as great as he's gonna do. Just like
he's fighting Jamie Pickett, who's coming off 2 losses.
And just like Johnny, the Bellator 185 champion, everybody was talking about him, Johnny Eblin or something like that, and they were talking about how good he is, this and that. This is not the media. This is the coaches. I hear on the grapevine that the coaches said he's the whatever, blah, blah. Look what it turns out to be, exactly what everybody says. So, when you start listening to other trainers, from wherever, and you start hearing these trainers say about how the good this guy and that guy is, these trainers usually don't speak like that unless they know, unless they personally have visual sighting of what they're talking about. And so I hear a lot of good things about him. So I'm not surprised he's as good as he is. And I'm not surprised that UFC is fast tracking him because, number one, he's got a good mouthpiece too. He knows what to say. He causes interest.
You've got Mateusz Gamrot, the guy that just lost to Beneil. He's fighting Jalen Turner.
Yeah.
That should be interesting. And Valentina Shevchenko is fighting Alexa Grasso.
Yeah, which Valentina. I mean, Grasso's got wow, that's a major task. Valentina. But you know what? You can't count Alexa out. Cannot count her out. She's a warrior through and through, and it's like this, like the Venezuelan vixen, right? She beats Amanda Nunes, and everybody's like shocked, blah blah blah. Well, Grasso can do the same, except Grasso has more of a well-rounded skill base, whereas the other one, she was really good on the ground, but she had incredible heart, and she believes she can beat everybody, and that's why she did. That's why she beat Amanda. And Alexis Grasso, I think she's coming in with the same mindset that I'm winning. I'm an underdog, but I'm winning. So don't count the underdog out. You'd be foolish to do that, because once you think, it's an easy fight, and all of a sudden it's not an easy fight, you lose. So I know, don't count people out. When a fighter's a fighter, and if they believe in themselves, it's going to take a lot to beat them. Sometimes even the greater fighter can lose to a lesser fighter, as long as that fighter these things that they can win, and they go out and prove that they can win. And that's happened. We've seen it many times.
That's so true. This is pretty neat. This is going to be a good card. We'll be watching that UFC. I mean, then you've got your fights at the Bellator coming up. What's happening after that? Are you guys waiting until after Ramadan to get your fighters back on track, your your Dagestan fighters?
Yeah, waiting to, after that, we'll see. I think Umar, hopefully we'll get Umar soon sometime. I don't know when, but Umar was next. And Tahir, hopefully I can get Tahir and Umar fights. Well, not me, Ali and the other managers can get them fights, after Ramadan, 2 months preferably, or a month after. That'd be good. And yeah, I'll be doing some work for a little bit into Dubai, do some business over there, and then I'll be back here.
Well, there's one more thing. It's like it looked like, I just wanted to bring it up because it looked like Dana was pretty open to a rematch. He'd love to see a rematch, but between Islam and Alex. But he also thinks that Alex should be fighting in his own weight class, to Yair, like you said. So I guess you guys are in agreement.
Well, the way I look at it is the way the fight finished made it, to me, it made it look intriguing. Like, okay, it's the finish was good in Alex's favor, so it made it look like, okay, he can really win, right? But if you really break down the fight and you look at it, and in my opinion, and I still say it, I know some people will disagree with me, but I had Islam 4-1. And Alex won the last round only because of what he did in the last minute. And he definitely won that round convincingly. But to me, all the other rounds were Islam's. But again, I'm being biased, but that's how I feel. And I feel on the rematch, I think there's interest because of the way it finished, and I think that Alex wants it really bad and he's pushing for it. And Islam's fine. No problem. I'm fine with it. If they want the rematch now, I'm fine. I don't care. But I think the fair thing to do is give Oliveras and Benil that opportunity, especially Benil. If he beats Oliveras, he deserves the next title shot. He's waited enough. And there is a point. I know this is entertainment first, but there is such a thing as give the guy what he deserves. And Benil deserves, if he passes Oliveras, that's not going to be an easy task. But if he does, then give him the shot. And then, Alex said that, hey, he's going to win the lightweight title, and then he's going to defend the business at the featherweight. Well, you didn't win the lightweight title, but you still have unfinished business in the featherweight division. You got Yair Rodriguez. He's deserving of see who's number one. Let's see. So I think that he takes care of Yair if he can, and then Islam, the winner of what do you call it, Oliveras and Benil. Then you can fight the winner, or maybe they go with Gagey and the winner of that with the other guy, whoever the other guy's fighting. I forgot his name, but maybe they go there. I don't know, but I think that both should defend the title and then they meet again. That's what I think. But again, doesn't matter what I think. What matters is what the
This
UFC
is what I'd like to see. This is whatever happens.
This is what's going to happen. So I can say whatever. But until the UFC decides that's what they want to do, that's what they offer, you get to decide to accept their deal or not accept their deal. But if you don't accept their deal, then basically they can say, well, you decline this fight, push you 6 months back. They can do that. That's in their contractual rights. You have to accept the challenge. If you don't accept the challenge, they can do their due diligence and say, we offered you a fight, you refuse this fight. Okay, so put 6 months onto your contract. They can do that if they want. But normally they usually work on agreement and they'll work on who is the next one they want them to fight. But usually it's what the UFC wants. That's what's going to happen. It isn't what the fans are crying for or wanting, or Alex's fans or Islam's fans. It's going to be what the UFC sees as the best option that's going to make the most money, that makes the most sense for the company. That's what's going to happen. I know what I'd like to see. I'd like to see Benil fight Oliveras. I'd like to see Alex fight Yair, and then I'd like to see them rematch if they both are successful in their next fights.
That sounds like a great outcome. This has been a good podcast, Javier. Like and subscribe if you like our show. And guess what, everybody? There's a chance that Javier and I might be doing a fan questions. I just like to give it a 24-hour heads up when we're going to live stream. So now that I've got the gym hours down, I think we'll be doing that. So thanks for coming on your show. It's been another good one, Javier.
Okie dokie. I'm in and out.